Exterior highway late morning. The car wins its way through the high mountains. Interior car. The family is fresh. The day is new. Audrey's listening to the Walkman. Rusty's playing Pac-Man. Anna is changing her dress shields. It's quiet except for an annoying rattle somewhere in the car.
Do you hear that rattle?
Where's it coming from?
It beats the heck out of me. I've been looking for it since we left. It's driving me crazy.
Exterior, same time. A highway patrol motorcycle is behind the station wagon with its lights ablaze. He blows his horn, hits the siren. The wagon continues on, oblivious to the cop. Interior car. The motorcycle pulls up alongside Clark's window. He doesn't notice. The cop waits for him to pull over.
Hey, Dad?
Huh?
Out of the corner of his eye, he catches the motorcycle.
Oh, shoot. Now what do we do?
Audrey's eyes bulge. The dope. Someone found out and called the cops. She looks at her purse with dread. The car slows down and eases off the road. The car stops. The cop gets out of the car and walks back to the station wagon. Audrey hands her purse to Aunt Edna.
You want my purse?
Huh?
Will you hold my purse?
Clark rolls down his window and smiles pleasantly.
What's the problem, officer?
The cop is tough and angry. He's ready to kill. His helmet and glasses have small droplets of dry blood on them.
Out of the car.
Clark swallows hard and gets out. Exterior car. Clark is puzzled as to why the cop is so mad.
I don't think I was speeding. Was I weaving or something?
Shut your mouth, sir. If I wasn't in uniform, I'd split your skull with the butt of my revolver faster than you could say police brutality.
Clark is baffled.
Officer, whatever I've done, I'm sure I can explain.
The cop drags him around to the right rear bumper and points to the ground. In the background, a small amount of dry blood is splattered on the motorcycle windshield.
Explain that, you son of a bitch.
Clark's mouth drops open. His eyes bulge. Continue. Rusty's face is plastered in the back window of the wagon.
Oh my God.
He bends down and picks up the end of a frayed leash.
You know what the penalty is for animal cruelty is in this state?
No, sir.
Well, it's probably pretty stiff.
Oh my God, you can't think I'd do that on purpose. I tied him to the bumper when I packed the car. It was confusing. I forgot. Jesus, I'm sorry. I feel terrible.
How do you think the dog feels, sir?
I told you. I'm sorry. It really was an accident.
The cop relents.
All right. I can buy that, sir, but it's a shame. I had a pooch like that when I was a kid.
He unhooks the leash from the bumper.
I'd say the poor little guy kept with you for a mile or so. Tough little Bowser.
Interior car later. Clark's face is drawn and pale. Ellen is biting a knuckle.
I was afraid you would get pulled over. You've exceeded the speed limit for thousands of miles. Dad wasn't speeding, Anna. The cop stopped us because...
Ellen turns quickly to cut Rusty off.
He was speeding, Rusty!
No, he wasn't.
Russ, listen to your mother. I was speeding. I was driving like a maniac. And we can be thankful that the police stopped us.
Cop appears at Clark's window on his motorcycle. He hands Clark the leash.
Here's the leash, sir. I'm going to go back and get the rest of the carcass off the road.
And close up. Her eyes show a shocking realization. As we zoom slowly to her full face, tears well up in her. Music builds up with the moment. She takes a gassy breath, sheds a tear, and belches.
That's one.
Durango exterior drive-in later. Durango, Colorado. Continued. The car is parked in a drive-in restaurant. A waitress approaches the car, struggling under the weight of a heavy tray loaded with food baskets and root beer mugs. Clark rolls his window down halfway to accommodate the clip-on tray. Interior car.
This your idea of a good restaurant? Dog killer!
I'm sure the food's fine, Edna.
Got it?
Uh-huh.
She looks a tray on the window and lets go of it. The tray snaps the window glass in half and crashes to the pavement. Exterior car later. The car is back on the highway, headed for Cortex. Interior car later. It is quiet once again. Ellen is is asleep in the front seat. Aunt Anna is asleep in the back, snoring and gurgling. Audrey's reading a book and eating shoestring licorice, which she has threaded up through her shirt collar, behind her ear and into her mouth so that Rusty won't see. Clark is driving, is boring, and his mind is wandering. The erotic moan of the Ferrari engine is in the distance, perks him up. Then, as out of nowhere, the Ferrari appears in his mirror. He glances over quickly to see that Ellen's asleep. Then he whips out his comb and adjusts his hairstyle, combing it forward. He wipes his mouth and adjusts his shirt. He puts his arm up and flexes his biceps. And continued, the Ferrari zooms up beside the car. Clark glances over, thinking he's Robert Mitchum. The girl waves to him. He winks at her. She lifts up her left leg and puts her foot up on the seat. Her skirt falls off her knee, exposing the full leg. Clark swallows hard. Beds of sweat begin to form on his forehead. The girl puts the Ferrari in neutral and revs the engine. Clark laughs to himself. He can play her game. He puts his car in neutral and revs his cheesy 6 cylinders. She revs hers again, a sexy, growling, high-performance moan. Clark floors the station wagon. It buzzes like a vacuum cleaner and dies. The Ferrari horn beeps and the car surges ahead. The station wagon coasts down the road. Clark tries the engine, no go. He finds it next to impossible to steer it. It rolls off the road in a big, lazy arc. Interior car, the sounds awakens the family. Look around and get their bearings, and looks at Clark, puzzled.
What happened?
I don't know. It just died on me.
He tries to start her. Whir, whir. Ellen notices his hair. She notices the sweat and the flush in his face.
What happened to your hair? Why are you sweaty? You're blushing?
The engine kicks in and Clark puts it in gear.
Don't be silly.
Are you all right, Clark?
Me? Hell yes. I'm fine. I'm having a ball.
Continued, as dusk approaches, Ellen cuddles up next to Clark.
Isn't that a beautiful sunset?
Yeah, looks like cheap wallpaper.
Come on, Sparky. Look at those mountains. Smell the air. Could you put on a happy face for me?
Clark breaks down. He puts his arm around her and chuckles.
I guess there isn't much more that could happen to us.
I hope not.
They kiss tenderly. Exterior car, 2 suitcases slide off the back and hit the pavement. As the car goes over a small bump, the car continues into the sunset. Exterior Wigwam Motel. Next morning, everybody's in the car except Clark and Ellen, who are approaching from the entrance.
Clark, we've got to go back and at least look for those bags. My credit cards are in them.
Ellen, number one, there's no chance we'd find them when we don't know where they fell off. B, I've got my cards, and we've still got plenty of cash.
No, we don't. You gave Eddie $500 and everything on this safari has cost twice as much as you figured out.
There's nothing in that luggage we can't replace, except for your diaphragm. And I can always cash a check down the road. Don't you trust me, honey?
As long as you don't tie me to the rear bumper.
She gets in the car.
That hurt, Ellen.
Interior car later. Ellen is looking at the map. Aunt Anna is clipping her nails. Rusty's listening to the Walkman. Audrey's hit in the eye by a flying nail. Clark is shaving with a portable electric razor plugged into the cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
Clark, honey, I think we're lost.
Through the rear window, we see a view of the Eiffel Tower.
We're not lost, Ellen. Please let me do the driving. As soon as the engine cools down, it's Grand Canyon lookout.
Clark, the highway we're on said Grand Canyon.
And I said this is a shortcut. I worked out a long time ago on the computer.
I honestly do not think you're going to find the Grand Canyon off this road.
Jesus, it's only the biggest goddamn hole in the world.
Your language, Clark. Where were you brought up? Saturday Night Live?
Maybe not the second biggest.
Can we just go already?
Shut up, Audrey.
Exterior car. Clark starts engine and pulls away, revealing a billboard advertising a Las Vegas hotel review with a collage of dancing girls, the Eiffel Tower, etc. Exterior dirt road. A station wagon is speeding down an unmarked, unimproved road leading from nowhere to nowhere.
Dad, I haven't seen a car for an hour.
Audrey, you don't think Dad knows where he's going?
Thank you, Rusty.
Interior car, same time. Clark is hunched over the wheel, looking out across the wasted landscape.
Lost!
Ma, I saw some detour signs.
I didn't.
I saw them when you and Mom were trying to fold the map.
Audrey, when they closed the road, they put up big signs.
He looks back at the road briefly.
Like this one.
We see a horrified face of the family as the car flies past a huge road closed sign and and flies off a 5-foot cliff. The road ends abruptly at a wash. The car sails off the cliff and lands in the wash. The hood and doors pop open. The front tires explode. The luggage atop the car goes flying. Clark's golf clubs scatter. Interior quick cuts in slow motion. Clark glasses fly off his face. The luggage inside the car slides forward and the suitcase smacks on Anna in the back of the head. She spits out her dentures. Rusty, who had his finger in his nose at impact, drives the digit up his nose to mid-knuckle. Continue. The radiator hisses and sprays. The family sits stunned for a moment. Then all hell breaks loose.
My bones! My bones!
I think I broke my nose.
Stabbed my brain.
Where are my glasses? Ellen.
I just got my period.
Clark retrieves the broken halves of his glasses. They split at the nose bridge. He reaches down on the floor and picks up Anna's dentures.
Here's somebody's teeth.
As he gets out, the airbag inflates again.
Ugh.
Exterior car. Clark is standing on the roof of the car. He is wrapping his glasses with his adhesive tape. He carefully slides them onto his head. Monument Valley. Ellen helps Audrey out of the car. He walks bow-legged.
We're going to find a bush.
Rusty staggers out and up on the roof with a huge plug of Kleenex in his nose and head held back. He looks back over his shoulder.
Hey, Dad. You jumped this thing about 50 yards.
It's nothing to be proud of, Rusty. 50 yards. I'd say we're about 300 miles from the nearest tow truck.
Ellen, help me out of here, will you?
Stay in the car. It's hot and dangerous out here.
Don't tell me what to do. I'll do what I want. I should never have come on this trip. Should have taken an airplane. You shouldn't have even have a license operated automobile. You should be behind bars.
Edna pulls herself up from the seat. Ellen puts a hand on her head and shoves her back in.
Edna, sit down and shut up. Move out of that seat again, and I'll split your lip.
Rusty, come on up here.
She sees that Rusty's already there.
Russ! Oh. Russ, I'm going to have to hike down to the road and find a service station. I want you to take care of things here.
You'll be okay, won't you, Dad?
Oh, sure. Now listen, I haven't had much chance to talk man-to-man with you.
I've only been a man for a few days, Dad.
Clark smiles proudly and tosses Rusty's hair. They sit.
You're growing up so damn fast. I spent 15 years of my life at the lab developing newer and better food additives. I guess I've missed an awful lot. You know, at first I didn't want to take this vacation, but I'm glad now that I did. Because it's let me spend a lot of time with you and Audrey.
Real fun for me too, Dad. Except for Aunt Edna.
She doesn't mean to be a pain in the rump. That's just the way she is. Let's not let her spoil our fun.
Well, Dad, maybe she'd be a nicer person if she had a family of her own that she lived with instead of always having to glom onto somebody else's.
You're a pretty smart little guy. Excuse me, man.
Laughs a little too hard, cries and hugs Rusty.
You know what I like to do?
Clark gets down off the car, taking Rusty with him. The car pulls at a can of beer and leads Rusty to a natural scenic lookout.
When I was about your age, my dad shared a beer with me, and I thought it was just about the best thing in the whole world.
He pops the top, sips the beer, and hands it to Rusty. Rusty chugs it.
You know, when I was a boy, every summer we'd take a vacation. And you know, in 18 years,
He takes the can from Rusty.
we never had fun.
He puts the empty can to his lips. He realizes it's empty. He looks at it, shakes it, and looks at Rusty.
But now I have my own family, and we're on our vacation. You know what?
What?
We're going to have fun.
He crushes the empty beer can.
Don't let your mother catch you with that beer on your breath, so take it out on me. Well, I better get a move on if I'm going to get us out of here before dark.
He slaps Rusty on the back.
Good talk, son.
Exterior desert car, same time. Clark goes back to the car. Ellen is sitting in the front looking at the map. Audrey's lying on a blanket in the sun listening to the Walkman. Anna's in the back seat with a wet towel on her head. The doors are still locked.
I just had a good talk with Rusty. You'll be in good hands here.
Clark, where are you going?
Well, there's got to be a phone or a gas station somewhere around here.
Clark's POV, his eyes scan a barren wasteland.
All right, honey, but if you're not back in an hour, I'm gonna...
Clark hugs her.
I'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'm sure this happens all the time, and a patrol car will be along in minutes.
He jogs out toward Monument Valley. Exterior desert, midday. Clark is walking jauntily and singing to keep up his spirit.
Over the river and through the woods.
Exterior desert later. Clark is babbling happily as he staggers forward with his shirt tied around his head and his pants rolled up to his knees. A mess of 2 Indians sit motionless on horseback, watch him pass without him noticing them.
What an asshole.
Exterior desert a little later. Clark still throws his shirt and watch away as if he were slowing him. Mouth is parched. He babbles incoherently. Clark close up. He stares straight ahead, squints, rubs his eyes as if he sees something in the distance. Clark's POV. Through shimmering heat, we see a distant barrage of T.E. Lawrence riding toward him on camelback. Music of Lawrence Arabia bills in the background. Clark is running now. He pants. His pants are now on his head. It's easily 125 degrees.
Lawrence! Lawrence!
Clark is looking. The camel's getting closer at a full gallop. Desert same time. Clark is falling, getting up, staggering, and falling again. Clark gets up and runs out shouting. Clark's POV. The camels are within 200 yards. Continue desert, same time, wide shot. Clark runs with his arms open as a man on camel continues speeding past him, brushing him and knocking him over. Clark falls. Music subsides. Clark close up. Clark is on the sand with heavily. He looks up and he sees lying on a human skeleton with rusted gas can still in its hand. He gets to his feet, starts singing and jogging with a renewed vigor.
Work that sucker to death!
Exterior rundown desert gas station. Clark stumbles on up to the floor. Ellen is coming out of the ladies' room.
Clark, where were you? We were worried to death. Some very nice Indians and a man on a camel called a tow truck for us. Are you all right?
Interior rundown desert gas station dust. Sitting from left to right with blank, exhausted expressions are Ellen, Audrey, who's holding her stomach, Aunt Enna with her broken dentures upside down in her mouth, and Rusty playing a pinball machine in the back. Clark is fooling with a salted nut dispenser. We hear men laughing and tools clanging on the floor in the repair bay.
My rear touched the ground. Will I be okay?
Clark fishes out a dime, drops it in the coin slot, and turns the knob. Nothing comes out. He lifts the slot cover and looks in. He sticks his fingers and gives up. As he turns away, his dime's worth of nut drops out on the floor. He walks to the repair bay.
How much longer?
There is a roar of off-screen laughter. A giant ox-like 6'5" mechanic with greasy coveralls appears in the door, wiping his nose with a filthy grease rag. He gives Clark a toothless grin and puts his greasy hand on his shoulder.
We're slow as tar, but like I say, you can take your business to the next filling station down the road.
He turns back to the other men in the bay. He smiles and winks at them and turns back to Clark.
You ought to be able to walk there in 30, 40 days. Don't you think so, boys?
He takes his hand off Clark's shoulder and walks back into the repair bay. He has left a greasy handprint on Clark's shirt. Exterior gas station later. The station wagon peels out of the bay, whips around to the front of the station, and screeches to a halt. The 2 front tires have been replaced with 2 worn snow tires. The size of the tires causes the car to sit at a slight incline. The family walks out and gets into the car. The men in the repair bay saunter out and surround the car. Clark pulls out his wallet to pay the mechanic for the repairs.
All right, what do I owe you?
One of the men, an assistant mechanic, steps forward and addresses Clark.
I never heard of no one so shit all stupid as you driving off road. You must got manure food in your brains.
The men roar with laughter. Clark forces a smile.
Yeah, well, I'm from out of town. So what's the bill?
The men laugh again.
Come on, how much?
The mechanic puts his greasy hand on Clark's shoulder again.
How much you got?
No, I'm asking you how much the repairs are.
And I'm asking you how much you got.
What does that have to do with how much it costs to tow a car and fix a couple tires?
Because I'm going to charge you all the money you got.
Clark is outraged.
You're out of your mind. I don't have time to play around. How much do I owe you?
All of it, boy.
The mechanic throws a monkey wrench in his hand.
You take credit cards?
Nope.
What's your sheriff have to say about your business practices?
There's a huge roar of laughter. The mechanic holds out his hand and uncurls his greasy fingers. He reveals a grimy sheriff's badge in his palm. Interior car night. The car is quiet except for the annoying rattle. Aunt Enna is snoring.
Audrey, how much babysitting money do you have?
I'll come
How much?
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing, except it cost me $500 for 2 bald snow tires and a tow.
Ellen gasped.
How much, Audrey?
Um, 35.
She has $40.
How would you know that unless you went through my purse? You want to see?
Rusty, did you go through her private property?
Look, I don't give a frog's fat ass who went through what. We need money. Edna, how much do you have?
She's asleep, Clark.
Look in her purse, Rusty.
Clark!
Clark turns around in his seat and shouts at Rusty.
Look.
Rusty carefully extracts his purse from under Aunt Anna's arm. He opens and pulls out wads of Kleenex, glasses, pill boxes, a dinner roll, photos, dog biscuits, and at the very bottom, a coin purse.
She's got 11 cents, Dad.
Clark pounds the steering wheel.
Won't a motel take a check?
Maybe, but we're almost out of gas.
Exterior motel late night. The station wagon creeps slowly into the drive of a franchise motel complex. As the car passes, we see Clark, Ellen, Rusty, and Audrey pushing the car.
I think you kids understand a little better now how difficult it must have been for the pioneers.
They didn't have motels to push their cars into.
How come Aunt Edna gets to ride?
Because she's old, honey.
And she refused. But look at the fun she missed.
They push the car into an empty parking space. The family steps back, car exhausted.
Well, that was fun. Old-fashioned, hard-working fun.
They all look at Clark with growing concern. Interior motel lobby morning.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't take this credit card.
Why not?
The computer says it's been reported lost.
Oh, no. You see, my wife lost her cards in Colorado, and I had to report it. And now the computer's saying I lost my cards, which I obviously haven't.
Well, you'll have to straighten that out with your bank.
We take a personal check?
Clark starts to write out a check.
For how much?
Well, how about $300?
I can't do that, sir.
Look, I lost all my cash, and we're on our way to California.
Wally World?
Yeah, Wally World, that's right. And I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place. I'd appreciate it.
The girl looks at the check and shakes his head.
Not without a major credit card.
I don't suppose you do a lot of vacationing.
Hell no, having fun is too much damn trouble.
I have $6.13, so I'm going to have to work something out with you.
I told you before,
I'll write the check for $1,000. You give me $300 in cash and keep $700 for doing nothing more than acting like a prick.
Only thing I can do is have you stay here until the check clears.
Clark turns away from the desk, seething and bubbling with anger and frustration. The office phone rings and Clark leaves the desk to answer it. Clark pounds his fist on the counter in anger. The cash register clicks, rears, and the cash drawer opens. Clark looks over at the counter into the open cash drawer. An excruciating moment of decision grips him. He takes a check out of his pocket and looks at it. Exterior motel, Clark runs out of the motel lobby and across to the parking lot.
Let's go. Come on, where's Edna?
She's in the car.
Rusty, get your butt in the car.
Clark jumps in and guns the engine. He backs out with the back door still open. Ellen screams.
Oh, Clark, what's gotten into you?
Rusty runs over and hops into the car. It squeals out of the parking lot. Exterior car later. The car speeds down the desert highway. Interior car. Clark is checking the rearview mirror for every few seconds. Ellen is troubled.
Clark, are you feeling all right? You seem awfully keyed up. Maybe it's the coffee you're drinking. Why don't you try Cinca?
A siren wails in the distance. Clark slams down the accelerator.
Hold your hats.
Rusty looks out the back window.
Cops!
Pull over, Clark.
Not on your life. No more damn delays.
He's gaining on us, Dad.
Interior highway. The police car pulls up close and then cuts over into the passing lane. A truck forces its back onto the right lane. Interior car. Clark barks an order at Rusty.
Get him back and start throwing stuff out.
Rusty hopped over the back seat.
Don't you dare. What are you doing?
I'm running from the law.
What?
I robbed the motel.
Ellen screams.
Dad, he's passing. I can't get him.
Exterior highway. The police car cuts sharply around the station wagon and continues down the highway. Interior car, Clark eases off the gas. He looks at Ellen.
Well, he must have gotten an inaccurate description of our getaway car, but we can't let our guard down.
Have you lost your mind?
Mom, I have to go again.
You'll have to hold it until we go to prison. How could you, Clark?
It wasn't armed robbery, it was a white-collar crime.
Rusty is standing in the footwell looking over the front.
Dad, look way up there. You know what that is?
Uh-oh.
Roadblock.
We'll run it.
Exterior roadblock. A couple of state Arizona Agriculture Department cars sit on either side of the road. A sign in the middle of the road reads Emergency Agricultural Inspection Station. It isn't a criminal roadblock at all. The uniformed Agriculture Department agents see an approaching station wagon and step into the road, waving their arms casually to warn them. The station wagon barrels ahead, blowing its horn. The agents look at each other with terror and dive out of the way. The station wagon smacks the sign and speeds across the border. Exterior gas station later. The car pulls in and stops at the pumps. Ellen gets out and heads toward the station. A young attendant approaches the car as Clark gets out and stretches.
Fill her up, no lead.
Exterior gas pumps. Clark is chatting with the attendant as he fills the tank.
Say, any state troopers been through here lately?
You expecting one?
No, I thought maybe they were through here looking for, say, a guy who robbed a motel.
Did you rob a motel?
Me? Why? Hell no. Why would I rob a motel? Me? Hey, Russ, would I rob a motel?
Rusty looks out of the car.
I don't know, Dad. You said
It's funny you would say that because just yesterday I said to my wife, where is my wife? Ellen! I'll let her tell you. It's,
He clears his throat to pass the pump.
Say, you don't have any steel belted radials, do you?
Sure thing.
The attendant goes inside and Clark speeds away without paying for the gas. Exterior highway later, the car cruises through the desert. Interior car, Clark looks back over the seat.
Rusty, up and at him.
Rusty stirs in the wake. Edna's leaning against him. He's as crabby as everyone else and pushes Edna over on Audrey.
what?
Crack open those sandwiches I got at the gas station. I'm so hungry I could eat a sandwich from a gas station.
Ellen turns the seat.
There's one for everybody, including Auntie. Rusty, can you wake her up? She needs to intake her pill.
Let her sleep, for Christ's sake. Wake her up and we'll have to listen to her all the way to Lake Havasu.
She's been quiet as a church mouse since we left the motel.
Audrey wakes up. She shoves Aunt Edna off her into Rusty.
Sorry, get off of me.
Mom, tell Audrey to quit pushing Aunt Edna on me.
I'm sick of her laying on me all the time.
Oh, be quiet. Auntie? Auntie Edna?
Ellen, we're going to be in Tucson in a few hours. Let her be. She's fine.
Ellen shakes Aunt Edna's knee.
She's not fine.
Don't be silly.
She's not fine, Big Mouth. She's dead.
Rusty and Audrey scream. Clark loses control of the car. Clark yells. It's chaos. Rusty and Audrey scramble over the seat to the front. Clark slams on the brakes. Exterior car, the car jerks onto the highway shoulder and grinds to a halt. The luggage flies off the road. The emergency flashers go on. Grand Canyon. The family flies out of the car. Audrey and Rusty are shrieking.
Please breathe on me. A dead person breathe on me.
Her hand touched me. She's stiff already.
They begin fiercely rubbing their hands and arms. Clark comes around the side of the car and picks up a dust. He pounds his fist on the car hood.
Well, God damn it, anyway.
Ellen gets out of the car.
She must have passed away somewhere in Tuba City. What are we going to do, Clark?
Well, we could leave her here, and the first phone we pass, we can call your cousin Normie, and he can come and get her.
He smiles, pleased with the suggestion. Ellen turns to him and viciously scolds him.
You are the coldest, meanest...
Well, what do you want me to do, call Federal Express?
Please, do we have to ride with a dead person? We don't have to ride with a dead person. Please, no, please, no.
It'd be easy for Cousin Normie to find her. All you'd have to do is look for the buzzards.
Well, hell, let's take her to Normie's for Pete's sake. I just don't want to get caught in funerals and inquests and all that crap.
You are the lowest, most selfish scum.
Clark glares at Ellen. He breathes heavily and shakes his finger at her.
Don't say anything you'll regret, Ellen. I'm being practical. If we drove straight through, we'd have 3 days at Wally World at best. 3 days. She can't weigh more than 100 pounds.
Hold up.
Oh, no, Clark. You can't put her up on the roof.
Yes, he can.
You want me to strap her to the hood? What's the difference? She'll be fine. It's not like it's going to rain or anything.
Exterior car night. The car approaches and passes camera. We see a familiar form sitting on top of the luggage with a blanket wrapped over it. Interior car. The kids are in the back seat, pressed against the door so as not to sit where Edna had been sitting. Clark tries to cheer up the family.
Hey, guys, let's play I Spy.
Dad, it's dark. How can we see what you spy?
I can still smell Aunt Edna. It's making me sick.
Hey, Dad, do you think it's possible for there to be such a thing as a haunted station wagon?
Rusty, stop it. Show some respect.
Clark turns his head back quickly and feigns fear.
Listen. Shh. You hear it?
What?
Shh. Ah, it's footsteps on the roof.
The kids scream and try to jump in front seat. Clark is bumped and the car swerves. Oncoming headlights flood the car and horns blast. Exterior residential street, Lake Havasu City. Rain pours down in the sheets as the station wagon creeps along a subdivision street. Lightning flashes, silhouetting the draped figure of Aunt Edna on the roof. She looks like a ghost riding on the luggage rack. Clark hangs out his broken window trying to read house numbers.
There it is.
Station wagon pulls into the drive of a small adobe tract house. Clark gets out and runs up to the porch. Ellen follows, holding the map over her head to protect what's left of her hairdo. Clark rings the doorbell.
Clark, don't just blurt out about Edna. Clark, don't just blurt out about Aunt Edna dying.
How about if I ask him to play 20 questions?
He rings the doorbell again. He waits a moment and then knocks. Then he points.
Not for Christ's sakes, he's not home.
Maybe the neighbors know where he is.
The moron knows we're coming and isn't even home.
Normie's always been flighty.
He's always been a jag-off.
Will you watch your mouth?
Clark finds a note taped on the door.
Have gone to Flagstaff, be back on Monday. Jeez, what a worm.
Clark kicks the front door and storms off the porch. Exterior Normie's patio later. Clark carries a bundled form between the houses to the patio. Ellen shepherds the kids behind, holding a golf umbrella over them.
We can't leave Aunt Edna on the patio.
Should I slip her in the night deposit box at the funeral home?
Clark sets the grisly bundle down in the patio rocking chair and then realizing what he's just done. Shivers with revulsion, he lifts the blanket that's wrapped around Edna and gives it to Ellen. Ties that to a chair with a clothesline with Rusty's help.
Clark, it's raining all over her.
Catch a cold now, Mom.
I hope you kids have learned something about life and death.
Yeah. Don't die unless somebody's home.
Clark steps back from Edna.
All right, let's bow our heads.
We continue. The family bows their heads. The rain pours down. The wind stirs and rocks the rocking chair. Clark leads a brief service the way he knows how.
Dear God, ease our suffering in this our moment of deepest despair. Yea, admit into your heavenly paradise this good and decent member of thy flock who never swerve from the path of righteousness.
The family looks up at Clark as he delivers the prayer. They're puzzled and confused by what's gotten into him.
She who lived by the example set forth by your dear son Jesus during his brief tenure on this our beloved planet Earth. Yea, the Hindus speak of karma.
Clark?
Clark turns to her, his arms still raised to the sky. Ellen takes a step forward. She's peeved.
Is this a serious matter? I'll do it myself.
I'm sorry I'm not an ordained minister, honey, but I'm doing my best.
Ellen sighs to take over him. She looks heavenward.
Lord, we loved this woman, and we hope that you have mercy on her soul.
Not go overboard, Mom.
We know that she deserves better than this, and still we can give because my husband wants to get to Wally World in time for his beloved family to have their vacation. I hope you understand. Have mercy on his soul.
Amen, let's go.
They run to the car and leave. Interior car later, Clark is puffing on a cigarette. He's pouring in a broken window on him. He holds the cigarette out with spray.
Well, I think Normie will understand when he reads the note we pinned on Edna's sleeve.
Sure, Clark, what's not to understand? You left his dead mother tied to a lawn chair in his backyard. I'm sure he won't mind.
He turns back to the kids.
Look, it's all over and done with. We'll find somewhere to stay for the night, and then we'll start fresh in the morning.
Ellen looks back at them. Audrey starts to cry.
I don't want to be in the car anymore. I want to go home. I don't even want to go to Wally World.
Clark, under the circumstances, I wouldn't mind if we just went home. In retrospect, it seems like a pretty bad idea driving out. It's been one disaster after another.
It's been a drag, Dad.
Try to get some time. Wally World is overrated anyway.
Clark guns the engine.
What do you think?
I think you're all fucked in the head. We're 10 hours from the fucking fun park and you want to bail out. Well, I'll tell you something. This is no longer a vacation. It's a quest. It's a quest for fun. I'm going to have fun and you're going to have fun. We're all going to have so much fucking fun, we'll need plastic surgery to remove our goddamn smiles. You're going to be whistling zippity-doo out of your assholes.
He throws a wagon in gear and pulls out. The car vibrates and wobbles from the 4 different size tires.
I mean, I gotta be crazy. I'm on a pilgrimage to see a moose. Praise Marty Moose! Hey, honey, remind me to hang myself when we get home. I'll be having so much fun, I'll probably forget.
Silence. Ellen stares in horror at Clark. Audrey lights a joint.
Dad, do you want an aspirin or something?
Don't touch!
Exterior highway. The car wobbles violently down the highway. We hear a thunderclap. Exterior Normie's patio. There's lightning flash. Rain pours down on Enna's face. Suddenly her eyes open. She wakes up and realizes she's tied to a chair.
Ah! That's too Clark!
Exterior motel evening. Another chain motel. Interior motel room. Clark is laying on the bed smoking a cigarette. Ellen is in the bathroom starting to. Interior bathroom.
Next time you have one of your outbursts, I'd appreciate if you had some consideration for your kids.
What are you talking about?
You don't know?
All I know is I'm trying my best to treat my family to a little fun.
Oh, spare me, Clark. I know your brand of family fun. Tomorrow you'll kick the desk clerk, hold up McDonald's, and drive 1,000 miles out of our way to see the largest ball of mud.
You know, you have an uncanny knack for looking at the dark side of things, Ellen. That's your whole problem.
Clark stands up and grabs the ugly white shoes Eddie gave him off the bed and slips them on.
You wouldn't know a good time if it came up and bit you.
Ellen stares icily at him. He walks to the door.
Where are you going?
What do you care?
He walks out and slams the door. Exterior motel walkway, same time. Clark closes the door. The next room door opens and an obvious hooker wears a halter, underpants, and garter belt peeks out at Clark.
Hey, cowboy. You want to have a party? You're looking mighty fine tonight. Yeah!
You couldn't afford it, honey.
Continuing, he walks on toward the bar, leaving her baffled. She closes her door. Interior motel lounge. Clark is sitting at one of the half-dozen booths. A local girl is singing and accompanying herself in an electric piano. Clark's nursing a beer and feeling sorry for himself. He looks up and jumps. Clark's point of view, the girl, the mystery woman with Ferrari, is standing at his table. She gives Clark a sexy smile.
Waiting for someone?
Clark regains his composure. He makes a quick decision.
You.
The girl slides into the booth with Clark.
Having a nice family vacation?
Ha! It would appear so, wouldn't it? The truth is, and this is highly confidential.
The girl nods, going along with what she rightly perceives as a big lie.
I own this motel. In fact, I own the whole chain, nationwide, 2,200 units. Once a year, I travel across the country incognito to see how the operation is running.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were working for the CIA.
Clark chuckles.
That's an old bit, huh?
Really?
No, I'm not with the CIA. I mean, I was, but that was many years ago. I don't like to talk about it much. I'm more interested in my motels, really, and my airline.
Where are you heading next?
The Orient. Corporate jets waiting in LA.
You have hotels in the Orient?
Motels.
That's great.
I'm just trying to have a little fun.
It's too bad you're married. I'm in the mood for some fun.
She finishes his beer.
Married? Oh, those people I'm with, that's my brother's family. I borrow them on these inspection tours of mine. They sort of complete the disguise. It's fun for them.
It's a good disguise. I like the station wagon effect.
Yeah, well, that's a big part of it. To be convincing, I have to look and act like an ordinary jerk, stop at all the stupid sights, look like a fool.
Basically, be like you are.
Yeah. Like my disguise?
Exterior motel courtyard later. Clark and the girl walk across the courtyard, continuing their conversation.
My credo, if I have to have a credo, is go for it. We only go around this crazy merry-go-round once.
The girl stops at the edge of the pool and without hesitation yanks off her top, drops her jeans, and dives into the pool. Clark's eyes bulge as suddenly 6 or 7 Bond fantasies come to life.
Wow, this feels great.
She pulls her hair back and takes an exhilarated breath.
Well, aren't you going to go for it?
Clark is faced with a challenge living up to his lies.
Here?
For starters? Sure. What's wrong? Don't you swim?
Oh, sure. I took third in the state semifinals senior year in high school. Yeah, sure, I swim. I'm completely at ease in water.
He starts to unbutton his shirt.
I'm proficient in a number of strokes, and
He whips out the shirt and kicks off the white loafers.
I dive. I had Olympic diving aspirations.
He drops his drawers, revealing big boxer shorts.
I'll be right there.
He turns away from her and drops his shorts.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Angle girl, she watches Clark with amusement and a concealed smile.
How's the water?
Exhilarating.
He stands at the edge of the pool, one hand protecting his modesty, the other over his head. He makes a one-handed dive into the pool, a beat, and he bursts out of the water.
Jesus, cold! Cold, fuck!
His booming voice echoes in a closed courtyard. Lights go on all over. People come out of the rooms to see what the scream's all about. In the interior motel room, Ellen's reading in bed. She sits up with a puzzled look on her face.
Clark?
She gets out of bed and hurries to the door. Ellen opens the door, walks in the balcony rail, and looks down.
Clark!
And Clark, he's at the side of the pool trying to reach his clothes without getting out of the water. The girl's laughing. Clark turns and waves to Ellen.
Hi, honey.
What are you doing?
Swimming?
Thinks of an excuse as quickly as he can.
My back's been killing me. I thought a swim would relax the muscles. I didn't want to unpack the car just to get a bathing suit. And guess what? This person here was in here, and I didn't see this person. That's why I yelled. I was so surprised. You can imagine. Can't you, Ellen? Huh?
Off screen, the motel room door slams. Clark realizes what he's done. He turns to the girl.
Can you excuse me?
You gotta go.
He pulls himself out of the water and Duck walks over to his clothes.
You're very attractive, and you shouldn't feel bad about this.
Clark slips on his boxers.
If I weren't married, I'd stay, but I am. I hope I didn't spoil your evening. Good night. Enjoy the rest of your trip.
He heads toward the balcony. Always goodbye.
You too.
Exterior motel balcony. Audrey and Rusty are leaning over the railing watching as Clark dresses. Audrey's wearing dark rounded sunglasses and smoking a joint.
Can't believe this.
For you're a dork. Put that out. You're not even inhaling.
So maybe I don't want to.
He turns and bumps into the door of her room. She takes off the glasses and goes in. Rusty, alone now, glances to his left and sees the hooker looking him over.
Hey, cowboy, wanna have a party?
Where?
In my bed.
Who's going?
Just you.
Rusty disappears into her room as Clark rounds the corner. Interior motel room. Clark peeks in. Ellen's in the bed. Clark feels miserable. He steps in and closes the door.
Ellen? Honey? Are you mad?
Pause.
Oh, hang on.
You like that girl? Is that what you want?
Oh, no, honey. You think I could like a girl like that? She's ugly. I love you. I'm sorry about everything. I was mad because you were right and I knew it. I was hurt.
He wraps his arms around her and holds her tight.
I'm sorry, Sparky. I know it's not all your fault, and I know you're trying. I'm going to try too. I do know how to have fun, and I'm going to prove it. Come on.
Wow, she's
Very forgiving.
very forgiving. She takes his hand and leads him out of the room. Exterior motel courtyard pool. Ellen has led Clark to the edge of the pool. She starts disrobing.
Oh, no, Ellen, you don't have to prove anything to me, honey, really.
No, Clark. I just want us to have some fun together.
He's naked and goes to the edge.
Please don't, Ellen. The water's very...
She dives in, giggling, surfaces faster to the edge and screams.
Jesus Christ! Cold!
Once again, the lights go on all over. People come out of their room to see what the screams are all about. Clark looks up at him angrily.
Hey, what's the matter with you people? You never seen anybody swim before? Go back to your rooms. Leave us alone.
She jumps in, and people leave muttering. Exterior motel balcony. Audrey, Rusty, and the hooker watch in total amazement as Clark and Ellen splash down the pool, yelling expletives. Exterior freeway, early morning. The car creeps along in rush hour traffic on Orange County, California.
Almost there. Everybody ready? Any minute now. Whoopee!
The car turns at an off-ramp where a sign reads Wally World, next 3 exits. Exterior Wally World, Moose Castle, morning. The spires of the Moose Castle rise from the vast amusement park. The wobbling, wounded station wagon limps into frame, heading for the park. Interior car, the Griswolds are invigorated. Seems worth the sacrifice and suffering.
We made it. We made it. Damn it. We made it to Wally World.
Kids lean over the seat and kiss their parents. Clark takes Ellen's hand.
The Griswolds are one hell of a family. We're here because we're here.
Exterior Wally World parking lot. The station wagon rolls into the massive empty parking lot, makes a sweeping turn, and parks in the last row of spaces. A good 600 yards from the entrance. The family gets out.
We're so far away, Clark.
Right. And when this lot is full of cars and everybody's fighting to get out of here at the same time, we'll be the first ones out. Why? Because we're the Griswolds.
They get out. Clark looks up. He looks at Rusty, and with an impetuous twinkle in his eye, he slaps Rusty on the back in a challenge.
Race to the entrance?
Clark and Rusty take off in a sprint. Clark and Rusty slow motion. They pound across the pavement to music from Chariots of Fire. As they approach the park entrance, their expressions of joy turn first to puzzlement, then to shock. Clark's POV, standing before the gate, is a huge, larger-than-life statue of Marty Moose and Omarov, with a two-bell holding a sign. Sorry, folks, we're closed for 2 weeks to clean and repair America's favorite family fun park. Angle the family. Their faces are frozen in disbelief. An insane rage is building in Clark as he pushes a button on Marty Moose, which reads, "Push me." Marty Moose, a recording of Marty Moose's cheerful voice plays, repeating the exact same message we just read. Clark's fist smashes into Marty's adorable face.
Sorry.
Exterior parking lot. The station wagon flies out of the parking lot into the street, bottom out. Turns hard and roars off, dragging the muffler. Ellen and the kids are staring at Clark as he speaks.
We watch his goddamn television program every Sunday night. We buy his cheap merchandise. We go to his shit movies. He owes us. He owes the Clark W. Griswolds. Right? Fucking A right he owes us.
What are you gonna do, Clark? You're scaring me.
Don't be scared. We're just gonna get our buck's worth of entertainment out of Mr. Wally, that's all.
Exterior gas station. The station wagon flies into a gas station, grinds to a halt. Clark jumps out.
Fill her up. Figure the mileage. I'll be right back.
Clark races across the street, dodging cars, and dashes into a sporting goods store. Brakes screech, horns honk. Exterior Beverly Hills later. Station wagon barrels down a palm tree-lined street. Beverly Hills, California. An old pickup truck is parked at the curb. One sign reads, "Maps to the Stars Home, $300. That would be expensive." The station wagon pulls a back behind it, looks up, brakes. The old man who owns the truck jumps out of the way.
You got Roy Wally's house on your map?
Sure do.
You take a check?
Sorry, no checks.
Okay.
Clark reaches to a store bag and pulls out a pistol with a price tag dangling from it. He trains it on the old man.
Give me the map or you'll be sporting a third nostril.
The old man hands the map to Clark.
Thanks very much.
The station wagon peels away. Interior car. Clark spreads the map across his knees and traces down the streets with the barrel of the gun.
Is that a real gun, Dad?
A real pellet gun, but it'll put a pretty good dent in your ass.
Ellen is figuring the final reading on the gas.
Oh, honey, I figured out our gas mileage.
Clark looks up from the road in the map.
3.9 miles per gallon.
Clark stares blank.
You sure?
Yeah, it might be a little lower.
Close your eyes.
Clark reaches the gun under the dash and fires. Ping! There's an electrical short. Exterior Roy Wally Estate, same time. A stately Beverly Hills mansion, Iron Gate, winding drive, meticulous grounds. The station wagon pulls up to the gate, and a security guard steps out to greet them.
Can I help you, sir?
Yes, we're here to see Mr. Wally, Mr. Roy Wally.
And your name, sir?
The Clark W. Griswolds.
Pardon me?
Pardon you. Clark W. Griswold.
One moment, sir.
The guard steps into the guardhouse and picks up a phone.
Clark, this is way off. I'm begging you, please don't do this.
Kids, don't you want to meet Roy Wally? Well, Audrey, don't you want to meet Roy Wally?
Yeah, I guess.
Exterior car, the guard returns.
Sure, Dad, I bet. You bet.
Good.
The guard returns.
I'm sorry, Mr. Griswold. This is a private residence. You'll have to contact Roy Wally's Enterprise on any working day from 9 to 5:30. Here's a card with their numbers.
Clark takes the card politely.
Thank you.
He floors in the car, blasts through the iron gates. Exterior Wally Mansion gates. The windshield blows out, iron sharpener flies. The wagon grinds up to the winding drive, scraping the brick wall. Alongside driving the shower for sparks, ripping up plantings, toppling flowers. Exterior Wally patio scene time. Roy Wally, a rotund man in his late 60s in suit and tie, is having a business meeting on the patio with several of his associates. They look up and toward the side of the house, suddenly a pair of guard dogs and a gardener break the hedge, rips through this garden, and heads for the men. They scatter. The wagon screeches to a halt on the patio, the engine growling. Clark jumps out and drops to his knees with the pistol held in two hands.
Freeze!
Wally and associates freeze in their tracks.
Roy Wally?
Wally raises his hand.
Are you Wally?
Yes. Please don't shoot.
I am Clark W. Griswold Jr. This is my wife, Ellen.
Ellen gets out of the car and waves politely.
How do you do? I've seen you on television.
And my kids, Audrey and Rusty. Okay? We're from Chicago, and we've just been through hell to get out here and visit your fun park.
Please be my guest. I love fun and money and theme parks. Yeah.
Clark pulls the hammer back. Wally shuts up.
We've ruined a brand new car, killed a dog, lost clothes, luggage, golf clubs, and an aunt. We were cheated, robbed, threatened, but I'm not going to cry on your damn shoulder. The point is, Mr. King of Family Entertainment, when we got to your friggin' fun park, it was closed.
We always...
Shut your face! So I figure you owe me.
Name your figure, sir. Hank, get Mr. Griswold a check.
I don't want money, pal. I want what we came for. Family entertainment, Roy Wally style. So you fellas put your creative heads together and give us a little, or you're going to remember Clark Griswold each and every time you take a leak.
Wally looks to his associates. The terrified men are thinking as fast as they can.
Okay, how about, howdy boys and girls, mom and dads, welcome to Wally World.
Clark scoots up on the hood of the car. Ellen and the kids scoot up as Wally and his men start to dance.
This is routine for our new motion picture, Moosing Around.
Wally's four associates start to sing and dance around the pool. Wally follows singing as well. Grown men acting like cartoon moose to save their lives.
M is for Mary. We're married, you see.
O is for, oh gosh, oh golly, oh gee.
S is for super well, family, glee.
E is for everything you want to be.
And what's that spell?
On cue the family.
Marty Moose!
Marty Moose!
Hi, yeah, that's me.
In front of the mansion, Beverly Hills police cars roar up the drive. SWAT teams jump out. The police spread around the house. Exterior patio, same time. Wally and associates have their pants rolled up to their knees, their jackets on their heads, sleeves tied in the shape of antlers. They are standing in line with their hands on each other's hips, singing excellent four-part harmony in chipmunk-like voices. They actually seem to be enjoying themselves, as are one or two servants and security people. When they finish, there's applause, and Roy excitedly suggests another tune.
Oh, remember the one from Moose Feathers? How the hell does that go? Moose Feathers, Moose.
He starts humming to himself in a cartoon voice.
Feathers. Freddie, you start it, please.
SWAT team, small group of police commandos burst out onto the scene.
Freeze!
Everyone freezes, including Roy and the boys. The cop looks at Clark, who no longer is holding the pistol, and then at Wally and his associates, and then finally chooses the ladder.
Okay, you guys. Let's go. Lie on the ground, face down with your legs spread.
Other cops start moving toward them.
No, hold on there. It's me you want, not Mr. Wally.
He takes the gun from his pocket and hands it to the cop.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wally. It's probably hard for you to believe, but we're big fans of yours. It's just that we've had kind of a disappointing trip. I guess I went a little haywire.
The cop handcuffs Clark.
Can I have a word with my family?
Make it short.
Clark walks back to the family. He kisses Audrey. Rusty's hand with his hand shackled behind his back.
I just hope you had at least a few minutes of fun. I know I lost my temper, but it was for you guys. I love you with all my heart, and I'd do anything for you. I just want you to know that.
Clark, you're a wonderful father. I don't care what society will think. We know, and that's all that counts.
That a guy couldn't want a more excellent vacation.
I love you, Daddy. I promise I'll be extra good while you're in jail.
He embraces the bunch.
Wait a minute, officer. I think there's been a little misunderstanding here. I don't think I'll be pressing any charges. Pete, show these good men around for some Roy Wally chocolate mousse and whatever they like to drink.
The cops release Clark, exit, and Roy joins the Griswolds.
Oh, Mr. Wally, that's so understanding of you. You're so nice. How can we ever repay you?
Monthly payments will be fine, $7.99 or $8.99.
The family laughs. Roy claps Clark on the back and roars with laughter.
I want to tell you about the vacation my wife and I took with our kids back in 1958. Whew, what a year. Let me send for a car. I want to take you folks over to the park. I'm opening it up special for you.
The biggest smile breaks across their faces. Interior airplane morning, the families reunited in the non-smoking section of a DC-10. They are clean and in fresh clothes and new spirit. They are all wearing antler hats.
I'll have to put Mr. Wally on our Christmas card list.
I can't believe he's paying for these tickets. I feel like such an idiot.
Ellen and Clark kiss. Rusty and Audrey are in the seats behind them. They're listening to in-flight music. A stewardess addresses the passengers over the PA.
Thank you for joining us this morning on our flight to Atlanta with continuing service to New York's LaGuardia Airport. Our flying time will be...
Clark looks at Ellen with alarms as the plane shoves off.
Did she say Atlanta?
Ellen
She
says
did
Clark.
say Atlanta.
Hey, lady, we're on the wrong goddamn airplane.
You see her runway. The plane taxis into position and begins to take off. Clark shouts above the roar of the engines.
Turn this son of a bitch around.
The plane takes off into the sunset.
This is 191 Heavy to Los Angeles Center. We're eastbound to Atlanta with a cabin disturbance. Notify ground authorities. Over.
Roger, we'll do it. Over.
Theme comes up, feigned out, end credit sequence, and credits over. Vacation snapshot. Family standing next to a station wagon from their house. Family with Eddie, Catherine, and then the cousins. Family with Wyatt Earp in Dodge City. Dinky with his head out the window. Family with a mechanic and friends at the desert gas station. Family with 2 Indians and a man on a camel. Family Roy Wally and Beverly Hills cops. Rusty with Audrey and the hooker, big smile on his face. Clark with his arm around Ellen. The end.
Yay. All right, well, thank you to whoever witnessed this magic tonight, and good night.